Hi, this is Steve again, talking to you about the ClearChoice teeth that I had installed a couple of years ago. Haven't made a video for a while, but I thought I'd kind of give a little bit of a heads up for everybody about what's going on. A lot of people have commented that they really like to have this knowledge because they don't know whether they want to go through it or not. When I was growing up and I was like 17, 18 years old, I remember walking in a town because I was no longer living at home. I was living with my stepbrother. And I remember having teeth ache really bad because I had gotten to the gum line and it was getting a nerve inside my head. And I remember just like it was so excruciating pain. I'm walking around town at 3 o'clock in the morning with my hands over my head, crying, and I can't fix it because I don't have the money. And people should never have to go through that kind of crap. Never in their life. If they have something like that that goes on, it should be covered no matter what. Okay. Some people are born with teeth that they have no problems with, but because our family bloodline is actually from England, people who are from England, they don't have really good teeth. Our teeth are very, very soft. So eating anything can cause any type of decay. So as I got older, I had a little bit of insurance. Sometimes I get things fixed or not. And so basically I had to deal with what I had when I had it. And I didn't really, sometimes I had insurance, sometimes I didn't. And when I had insurance, I'd go for it and do whatever I can. But a lot of the dentists, all they want to do is patch things. Okay. They don't want to really fix things because all they're going to do is just take your teeth, drill a hole, put a filling into it, which is a temporary, basically. They last about 4 or 5 years. So basically that's what I was having problems with. And so what made me decide to have these is because I was so fed up going through Kaiser Permanente Dental, and all they would do is patch everything. And every year or so, they'd have me going right back in for another checkup, or every 6 months for a cleaning. Oh, you have more problems, let's charge you more stuff. Oh, you've got more problems, let's charge you more stuff. I just got to a point after like 5 years of just going, every 6 months I come in here and you're not fixing anything. I'm still having the same problems. Now you're saying I need a filling, and I'm still having issues, and I got broken teeth at the gum line. That the tooth is there, but at the gum line it's kind of done. And so they'll just whack the top off of it, or they'll drill into whatever's left over. So if you have a tooth that's basically like this, and down here at the gum line it's all broken up, they'll actually drill this portion out, even though it's a third of the tooth, and they'll put an amalgam into it, which is basically a filling. And then about 6 months to a year, you're eating, and all of a sudden that amalgam comes out because there's no way to attach metal to teeth, okay? Unless you drill a hole into it, and you have to try and make a pocket to go around. So it's kind of like a ball into a rounded area. So you have to make the ball bigger than the hole on the opposite side of the hole of what you're doing. So it kind of is shaped about, let's say there's a small ball here and there's a big one here, where the small ball has to be tucked into the small hole, and then that bigger part that's in there will actually stay. But because they don't really have that ability to do that very well, they don't last. Everybody knows that fillings are temporary. They're not made to last unless you get caps or something like that, which I've never had a cap. So I just kind of got fed up with it, and I had insurance this time. Insurance didn't cover it. My wife and I had to take a home equity line of credit out of the house. And she's like, well, why do you want to do this? And I says, because I'm just tired of it. I'm just so freaking fed up with my teeth the way they are. There's nothing I can do. Our family still has the same issues. No matter where we go, what we do, they just patch everything. And I'm back inside the dentist's office in 6 months with more dental work. So I told her I'm done. And at that point in time, she goes, I understand. Let's get this done. So like I said, we took a home equity line of credit out of the house, borrowed against it, which now at the time right now, we're paying a little over 7% on my teeth per year, which kind of sucks. So now we're actually paying a lot more money than what we should have. If we would have went through insurance and they took insurance, it would have probably cost us a few $1,000s. But ClearChoice doesn't want to take insurance because insurance won't cover it. They don't want to fix it. They want to keep charging you repetitively over years. They don't want to have to pay a dentist or a group of dentists a bunch of money to actually fix stuff. They're willing to just sit down and say, well, I'll tell you what, we'll give you $500 if you do a crown, but other than that, we're not going to have you replace the teeth, because that's money. Insurance companies are there to make money. And if they can prolong everything to keep going for money, that's what they will do. They won't fix it. They'll just patch it. So anyway, the reason why I'm making this video is it's been a couple of years. I want to let you guys know how things are going. Every once in a while, you'll hear a click. but that's just because I can't monitor it at all times. Okay. You have to kind of really take your tongue and touch the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth, to prevent, kind of like as a little buffer, but you're not putting your tongue between the teeth, but you're making sure that your jaw stays down enough but never encloses when you're talking. So every once in a while, after I talk for a while, I start talking like this because I'm so used to doing it and my tongue gets tired. Okay. So short bursts of talking, no problem. But the longer I talk, the more it tends to get my tongue a little bit, kind of doing that thing. So anyway, I wanted to say thank you for everybody for watching my videos, because I wanted to kind of enclose a couple little things about that I've endured in the last couple of years. So let me go grab something. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So what I needed to do is I needed to grab the thing that I had put on previous videos about using air. Now, I've used the water pick. The water pick is good, but sometimes you just can't get into certain places, because when you have your gum line that originally was flat because you had your teeth there inside your gums, once they pull the teeth out, now you have all these shards of bone sticking out. They don't sand them down, so you have all these shards sticking up. So the gum line is no longer smooth. It's all kind of chaos. So what happens is that when they put the inserts or the implants, which are the metal parts, into your jaws, they put them in there, but your gums will grow over the bone fragments. Now, the bone fragments, like I said, they are not smooth. They are actually just kind of jaggedy. So out over a period of time, those jagged edges are there. And when you try and use dental floss, you have mounds here, pieces, of bone and tissue that are shaped like this, and your teeth are on top. So when you try and put the dental floss in between your gums and your bone fragments and the teeth that are up above, it will only go up to the top and then around. So when you're actually using the dental floss, it's polishing your gums, but it's not cleaning the top or the roof parts of your teeth, your fake teeth. So I was trying to figure out, how in the heck am I supposed to get this thing done? Because the water pick only does so much, because you can only get so much pressure into it, and then you're dribbling water, whatever it is. So I don't want to swallow the stuff. To me, it just seems a little gross, I guess, even though it's my slobber or whatever it is. It's just, it's a mess. Okay. And I've had people tell me that they make an elongated line, they go in the shower and they sit there and play with their teeth. Well, you can't do that after you get done eating a steak. And then you go home and your gums are sore and you've got food trapped between the teeth and your gums, and then they start swelling and stuff like that. So you try and use the water pick and it hurts and stuff like that, but it's a different hurt. Okay. So beforehand you would have nerve up here and down there that would hurt. I mean, it was really bad. Now you have gums that actually hurt. So using the water pick, it's really hard to get out that food when you have your gums that are a little bit swollen because of the food that's been trapped in there for a couple hours. And if you get something caught late at night, like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, you wake up the next day, your gums are really kind of getting swollen because it's not supposed to have that food particle there. So you go out there and try and use the water pick and you can't get it out. So you're trying to figure out what can I do? So that's when I came up with the dental picks, so to speak, that I got at Harbor Freight. And so I would take those and I'd sand the tips of them off because they were really sharp. So you want to dull them out, and then you can get in there and you can dig quite a bit of stuff. I can actually feel the implants, the metal parts, and I can touch those with those picks. But I'm not making my gums bleed. I'm not running around when I'm doing it. You just got to slowly focus and just think about what you're doing and kind of mentally figure out where these things are at. So then I was like, well, what am I supposed to do here? How am I supposed to get this thing figured out so it doesn't hurt and I'm not dribbling water everywhere and making a big old freaking mess and not taking a shower every 30 minutes or an hour or so? So that's when I came up with Shop Air. Now, I've been an ASE master technician. I've been a mechanic for 45 years. And because I know a lot of these things that mechanical, okay, I was thinking, well, why not use air? Because I've used air for everything, okay, shop air tools, blowing out the shop, things like that. I've now gotten to a point where instead of blowing out the shop with the shop air, I actually use a battery-powered Makita blower, so that way I don't have to make a big old mess with air and the compressor's not running stuff. But I have a small little air compressor inside the garage at my house, and I picked up this old line, and this is what I was going to grab you. Is people are asking me, well, how do you use the shop air? Well, I made a tip off of an old one. So this is what it is, okay? So it just has a regular shop air. This here I can slowly let the pressure in, or you can actually adjust it with a regulator, so you can never get more than like 10 pounds of pressure out of it, because you don't need very much at all. But once you put this inside your mouth, if you put it on the inside of the mouth where the teeth are, where your tongue is, and you turn up the pressure, it'll actually find the air and it'll actually blow everything out of the bottom part of your teeth. You do the same thing to the top, and you just run it through the roof of your mouth, kind of like this, you know, and it takes everything and blows everything out. There's not one bit of chicken, because that's notorious. Anything that's a fibrous food, muscle tissue, like is pork, chicken, beef, that kind of stuff, like that'll get stuck in there all the time. Popcorn, basically peanuts are the worst because they're so hard. It's not like it's going to break down. So chicken, after a day or two, your breath starts to stink a little bit. And yes, the chicken will actually start to decompose basically, but it won't really come out until you can get it out there. And with the water, it doesn't really work that great. The picks sometimes work it, but the really 100% way, which you can really tell whether it's clean or not, is before you actually do it, you try and suck like in between, like that, between you're trying to get the air to go up and over your teeth. Of course, I can't do it because my upper lip is in the way and the lower lip, so I have to do it, you know, with my lips opened up a little bit. And you're trying to get the airflow to go between the back side of the teeth to the front side of the teeth. When you use the air gun, like I have here, after just like that, and then go into here, basically my teeth are so cleared up. I could do that by putting my tongue in the way of my teeth when they're closed, and I can get air to go through the top and the bottom of the teeth, and I know everything is super clear. And if there's any problems that I have with the gums being sore, within about 10 to 12 hours, then I'm actually good to go, okay? So hold on a second. I got to go let my cat into the house, okay? Hold on just a second. All right, sorry about that. It's my cat, Milo. He's about 10 years old. So anyway, what I wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit of hints about is the teeth are fine. You do have to brush them every day just to keep the buildup from coming up, because they do have buildup that are onto them. They're really so weird because you can actually run your teeth on the front, or you run your tongue on the front of your teeth and the backside as well, and you can feel all the little grooves that the person who created these things, they're almost like real, absolutely real teeth, okay? So they're really good. The bad thing that I hate about them is getting the stuff underneath your teeth and you can't get it out, and you're not around someplace where you can actually use a blowgun or your water pick or something like that. So let's say I took a drive and I went over to the coast for the day and I stayed the night, and during dinner time I got a piece of meat or something stuck in between my gums and my teeth. I wake up the next day, my teeth are kind of sore, and I'm like, oh man, I know I got something there, but I can't get it out. So I have one of my dental picks inside my truck, and on the way home I'll drive around and I'll try and see if I can get it out while I'm actually driving. Or I'll stop off at some place. I usually go to McDonald's, grab a soda, and then I use it to flush it out, or some water or something like that. And I try and, do a little swish. And if it comes out, great. If not, I come straight home, turn on the air compressor, grab the little goodie here. It takes me about 10 seconds, done. And then everything is out, okay? And I feel so much better. And it is a different pain, because beforehand you had your teeth and it was the gums and the jaw pain and everything else. It was intense. Well, now it's just gum pain, which is way less than what the normal root pain is. So if it does get a little bit raw or swollen because of food particles that you can't get out, and you're not around something where you can remove it right away, you just have to deal with that little bit of pain. And it's way worth it, because you'll just be like, oh man, it hurts, it sucks, done, okay. Now I'll go inside the house, I'll go brush my teeth, and then I go ahead and I use mouthwash, and it gets rid of all that bad bacteria, and it starts to heal up, and by the next day, my gums they're fine, and they're not swollen anymore, and everything's good to go. Now I just have to go, well, the next time I eat, what am I going to do? Well, you don't want to stop eating, and you don't want to stop doing the things that you enjoy, so you'll eat again, but then you'll try and make sure you don't do something the next time, by getting food underneath your teeth. So, but anyway, that's kind of what I've got. I've had a lot of people asking me about the air blowing the air nozzle and stuff. Like I said, it was a maximum of about 10 pounds of pressure. So it's not going to blow your teeth off. It's not going to make your lips flutter around. Or, people would probably say, well, you're not supposed to get air injected into your skin. Well, yeah, because I'm not using that much pressure. And that's supposed to be a lot of pressure and a lot of air going into your skin to be able to kill you. And I'm not doing that. Okay, I'm just using about 10 pounds of air. So I appreciate everybody watching my videos. If you have any more questions, please do not hesitate to ask. I will answer them as best as I can. I would probably say the number one thing that is a turnoff is the price, because we should not have to go out and sell ourselves, sell our property, sell our stuff, anything. Oh, I got to sell a car or whatever it is. I got to come up with this much money to get my teeth fixed when we shouldn't have to. I know it would be awesome if we all had a nationwide health service, but unfortunately the people who are running the system, which is the insurance companies and the hospitals, they don't give us that luxury. So we're kind of screwed as it is. Until things actually change and people get a set amount, like a doctor makes this much money, and this is how much money fairly should be paid to the medical professionals, because they got schooling that they have to pay for. They have years of learning, and they learn every day after they've gone to school. So they should be compensated justly. But then again, I don't want these guys saying, well, I make $4.7 million a year because I put teeth in people's heads, okay? Because I charge cash. And the thing is that when they actually say no insurance, it kind of makes me wonder, why are they paying cash? Is it because it's kind of it's unreported income. It's cash. The IRS doesn't know about it. Nobody knows about it. So when the doctor winds up going out and buys a BMW, even though it's a used one, and pays cash for it, it's not really reported because he's got cash under his mattress. Okay. Now, if it was like, hey, we'll take a check, we'll take this or that, any traceable income, then that means they got to pay taxes onto it. Now, I know they had 2 physicians that were there. They also had an anesthetist, so they had 3. And then they had a bunch of other people they had there. So I understand there's a lot of wages that you got to pay. And of course, they're a franchise. So they got franchise fees to pay. So I'm sure right off the bat, 10 grand goes right to the people who own the dentist company themselves, so they can buy themselves their brand new BMW, Porsches, and things like that. And then it just kind of has a trickle down effect. An anesthetist probably makes $3,000, $4,000 or something like that. I believe I was under for, I think, about 6 hours or something like that is what they said. But yeah, the money is the number one. The second thing is that they should actually, when they pull your teeth out before sewing them up, they need to grind off all of the sharp teeth fragments from your bones. So when they pull it out and you get these sharp shards that are up there and they sew over them, I've had those shards actually stabbing me in there, and I have to go down there and say, what is this? And they're like, well, it's the teeth, the bones, they're shrapnel basically, and it'll just stab you, and it'll go after a while. Your body will absorb it. Well, then I found one piece that actually broke off, was kind of floating around, and after a while it just disappeared. And he goes, yeah, that's because your body absorbed it. But I'm thinking we shouldn't have to go through that. If we're going to pay that much money, they should take all of the teeth, grind them down to where they're smooth bone. Then they could do the implants and then do the sewing, so that way we don't have these peaks and valleys that are gums now that are under the teeth. So that way when you're trying to clean out the teeth with your flosses and stuff like that, it's not going to be a bitch to get in there. Because even when I had my teeth put in, there's an area that's right here on the left-hand side bottom, and even the doctor couldn't even get the floss in there, and he goes, well, your gums are swollen. The best thing we can do is just send you on your way, and when they go down and swelling, then we're going to be good to go. Okay. But then what if they didn't? They'd have to take it all out, cut my gums open, grind off some stuff, put it back up, sew it back up, and then I have to go back again without my teeth in there until my gums heal up, and they probably put me in these little temporary 4 teeth, buck teeth kind of looking things for a while until my gums heal. So again, that's price. Second thing is the bones. The third thing is probably the food getting underneath your teeth, between the teeth and the gums. Other than that, you can eat really anything. You just have to watch what you eat, okay? And that's hard stuff. Hard candies doesn't matter, but it's the peanuts, the popcorn, anything that has chunks or pieces that will stay hard for a long time and they will not break. If you have peanut butter, like creamy peanut butter, that's one thing. But if you have crunchy peanut butter, those chunks of peanut butter will actually get underneath your teeth, causing irritation, things like that. Okay. That's what I'm saying as far as what you need to kind of watch out for. Okay. I have pretty much eaten everything you could think of. Corn, I was like biting it off going, I cannot believe these things. These are fantastic. As long as you don't get anything caught between your teeth and the gums, then you're fine. Otherwise, now you got the repercussions of that, and you have to just kind of get yourself cleaned up. Like I said, with my shop air, that's what I use. Other people use the water pick, use whatever you want, as long as you get your teeth cleaned every single night before you go to bed. So when you wake up in the morning, your gums aren't sore and you're going, great, now what do I have to do? And I have to do extra this and that and so on and so forth. So you really just have to keep on getting them clean. They will last you forever. They don't discolor. They are as hard as a rock. So they're meant to last you your lifetime. And jokingly, I told my dentist person at ClearChoice, if I died, could I have my teeth removed prior to me being cremated? And we can save those for a family member later on, like my nephews. And he said, yeah, no problem. So if you have your teeth and you really think they're worth it, and your kids or grandkids have really bad problems and they don't think it's gross because they can actually take the teeth and they can reuse them, by having them super, super ultrasonically clean and so on and so forth. So they're like, they've never been in somebody's mouth. But if they don't have a problem with it, save the teeth. If you're going to get cremated or buried, they can take them out. They are a T4. I think it's a T4 Torx socket that they use. They use a wrench for it. Because I asked them when I was like, oh, that's a T3, T4. And they said, yes, a T4. And so basically they use T4 Torx screws, and they use a torque wrench to lock them down so they're locked in and they won't come out. And then they put this filling stuff on top of the holes where the bolts are so they don't come out. So when you die, make sure that the person who's at the mortician place, mortuary, whatever, have them take out the teeth. Maybe somebody could use them for later and save a shitload of money. Okay. So anyway, sounds a little gross, but it would save a lot of money, to be honest with you, because then you're not having to pay somebody to make these things and they're ready to go. Okay. And even the people, the dentists over at ClearChoice, they even have the original first and second sets of teeth that I had, because they have like 4 teeth in the front and bottom, top and bottom for your first set. Then they use 6 teeth or something like that. And then they give you the full deal about a year later. So they already have the 3 sets, 1 in your mouth, 2 at the dentist's. And you could request that, because if I ever had a problem where these things break, I go to those dentists at ClearChoice and I go, yeah, we're going to have to fix these. It's going to take a few days, but we'll take your teeth out, put in your other temporaries that you had, so at least you can have something to use instead of, being, toothless. Okay. So anyway, like I said, if there's any questions or problems or anything else that you guys want to vent on me, don't hesitate to ask. I will answer as best as I can. I will talk to you later. Thank you so much for watching my videos. I appreciate it. I never knew it was going to be kind of blowing up as much as it does, and a lot of people are following me. It's just that I'm trying to be honest about it, and there is nobody out there except for all these advertisements that you see on the TV of all these people that are happy and smiley and stuff like that. And you're like, but what about the other parts? What about the bad parts? It just can't be that wonderful. Okay. And even the places that if you drive down the main drag here, you can go to these other dentists that says, we can give you your teeth in 1 day. I don't know if I'd even want to go to those places, okay, because it may be a little bit less, but you're having all your teeth yarded out in 1 day, replaced with a set that is probably not going to fit perfectly because your gums have to get the swelling down. So that's what they did with mine, is they made sure that my gums were good. 4 months later, they gave me a second set, so that it'll actually fit so they can continue working on my last set. And then when I got the last set in about a year, then they actually fit. They were perfect. They look like real teeth, blah, blah, blah. But the ones that you can see down at these, we do it in a day instead of a year. A, it's cheaper. B, they're generic teeth. C, you could look like a horse and not know about it. They're not made to fit everybody unless they have like, well, here's jaw A and here's jaw B, and we've got a generic set that's going to fit you. And they don't have the same color. They don't have any choices. That's why I call it ClearChoice where I went to, because you have a clear choice to do what you want to do, how you want it. Kind of like going to the restaurant and saying, I want this, this, and this, but I want this to be taken care of, this, and this, and I wanted this, that, and, you know, because you're the one who's paying them, you're making all the rules, and the other people that do the cheap stuff just say, here's your generic set, here's a nice day. Oh, we got blue teeth too. So yeah, blah, 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 you know, you make it all this, that, and the other thing. So, so I personally, I would have never went to one of those places. They sound really cool and seen them on these reality shows, but they never go back to those people and say, how's your teeth after a year? You know, how's this? How's it? Did you have any problems, repercussions, or anything like that? You know, that TV show Botched with those guys, they actually get to see and they have to fix what happens. Does ClearChoice actually fix a lot of the problems that are on these other things? Because nobody talks about the after effects of that person later down the road. And with me, I'm giving you guys a truthful 100% everything about what I've gone through since I've had them, being honest about it. They don't even know I'm making videos. I don't make any money. I'm not getting anything from them because I'm telling you the honest truth about how I am, how things are. And I just want people to understand exactly how things could happen. Okay. Everybody's different. I've had one lady say, well, my teeth are still hurting after 3 weeks. Everybody's different. Okay. Ask for more pain meds. They'll give them to you. If you have a problem here or a problem there or not, or whatever, your doctor is there for you. That's what they're for. And if they won't give it to you, then you can find out what the corporate phone number is and say, my doctor's a dick and he's not helping me and I'm in pain, or I've got this problem or that problem. And they'll jump shit on those guys, because if those dentists screw up, then they're going to lose business. Because just like when I was in McDonald's, when I was 16 years old, back in, I believe it was like 1980 something, the rule that we had is you make one customer pissed off, that one customer will tell 10 people. Those 10 people will tell 10. Those 10 people will tell 10, and you could lose thousands of customers by one screw up. Okay. So because ClearChoice is very limited on the amount of people that they can take care of because of the amount of cost involved, they don't want to piss off potential clients and have them on ABC or NBC and stuff like that. So they should be taking care of you no matter what. Mine were fantastic. Anything I needed, anything I wanted, wonderful. I've even asked them, hey, in about a year, can you have the teeth removed, pull them off, and then clean the underside of them? And they said, absolutely. We've never heard of it before, but yeah, we could do that. I mean, it'll cost a couple of $100, but at least I know they're clean and they know what's going on after a couple of years of wearing them. Then they could say, oh, well, we need to do a little bit more regimen, because they didn't even know what my teeth will look like underneath of these things. So if you take out the bottom and you flip it upside down where the gums were, how bad is that? Is it caked up full of stuff, or are they clean? We don't know. They don't know. So this is something that I'd like to try out probably the next few months, and I'll report back on that. I got to make an appointment and have it all scheduled up and have them do everything. And then I could probably make a video at that point in time about what happened, what it looks like, and so on and so forth. So anyway, again, thank you very much. I appreciate you guys with your comments and everything. Thanks for following me, and I'll try and keep you guys up as best as I can. Okay? Well, thank you very much, and you guys have a great day and be safe. Okay? Bye-bye.